Well, good afternoon, everybody. Here we are again, another of our webinars at 3 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon. Well, I don't know if you're anything like me, but we're sitting here now thinking around that we're in that strange period now, aren't we? That strange period of Halloween is behind us, the midterm break is behind us, and yet Christmas hasn't quite just started, although it's starting to emerge in shops. Certainly being out at lunchtime there's very much evidence of it around. And yet, the customers haven't yet decided that that's the direction they're taking. So it's going to be a few weeks yet. And, we sort of sit there now around this time of the year going, is it going to be a good Christmas? Is it going to be a difficult Christmas? Where are we at? The one thing that is very certain is that it can't be much of a worse Christmas than the one we had last year. So hopefully this year will be a lot smoother, albeit when you look at the case numbers on a daily basis at the moment, you tend to have the jitters, but at least we're open, at least we're trading, which is more than could be said for this time last year. Anyway, the title of today's webinar was, Has COVID Changed Family Shopping for Good? And we've two ladies here who are going to give us a bit of a presentation. The first is Lynn Carr from Customer Perceptions, who's going to talk for about 8 or 9 minutes around their business, around mystery shopping. Lynn is she's no stranger to retail excellence, having done a lot of mystery shopping with us in the past, and certainly during the course of this year. So I'm sure she'll go into that in a minute. And the other speaker is Jill Holtz, who is with ParentsandBrands.com and MyKidTime.com, and again, somebody that you may be familiar with. So welcome to you both, Jill and Lynn. And Jill is going to be talking very much about what parents are saying about retail and shopping. This incredible demographic of parents that we really need to take a lot of notice of, because certainly mothers in particular hold the purse strings in many families, and I'm sure a lot of will come out on the course of today. So anyway, enough of me. I'd like to introduce Lynn. Over to you.
Thanks very much, Duncan. So just going to share my screen. I'm just going to check, Siobhan, if you wouldn't mind, just that my screen's sharing okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
Perfect. Thanks, Duncan. So thank you very much, everyone. My name is Lynn Carr, and I'm project manager here at Customer Perceptions, the customer experience experts. So I'm just going to speak for a few minutes today about customer perceptions, who we are, what we do, why we do it, and of course, how we do it. So firstly, just a little bit about us, about Customer Perceptions. So we were founded in 1995 by our parent company, Optimum Results Limited. So we are a business performance improvement organisation, and we have 4 key strategies under our umbrella here. So on the left-hand side under Optimum Results, you can see training and consultancy services and LMS and e-learning services. And then on the right-hand side, under Customer Perceptions, we have our bespoke consumer research services and our own customer experience feedback platform. So just in terms of customer perception specifically, so we are leaders in providing bespoke consumer and market research solutions to our clients. We're based here in Dundalk in County Louth, and we have a team of 16 wonderful staff. We have a wealth of experience in providing consumer research across all industries and in businesses of all sizes, but most notably with some of Ireland's largest retailers. We have a very large database of field researchers nationwide, about 8,000 currently, and we've completed recently our 1 millionth consumer research assessment. We have a really strong track record of over 300 really satisfied clients, and we really owe that success to the fact that as a team we're so passionate about and dedicated with what we do, and we really truly care about our clients' businesses. We're very proud to be Retail Excellence Partners too, and as some of you probably know, we were the official mystery shopping provider for the 2021 Retail Excellence Awards. So just moving on to, I suppose, what we do and how we do it. So our consumer research solutions, they're very unique and they're custom built to each client's individual needs. The idea is that they'll facilitate our clients in monitoring and improving their business in 3 key ways. So firstly, there we have measuring the customer experience. So measuring the customer experience on that journey from start to finish through the various customer touch points in the business, and ensuring that the business itself becomes customer centric, where the customer is the complete focal point. So an example of how we would achieve that with our clients would be a tailored mystery shopping program. Number two, there we have gathering consumer insights. So helping businesses to really know and understand their consumers, their feelings, wants, their needs, and their expectations. So this is really helpful in helping businesses plan their strategies, attracting, retaining, and satisfying their customers, and really for training and development of staff. So examples of there would be exit interviews as customers leave the premises, or voice of the customer research where we engage directly with the business's real customers. And finally, auditing the business. So obviously audits provide businesses with reassurance that their policies, procedures, their SOPs are being adhered to. And we facilitate our clients in auditing their business in two ways, either internally using their own very experienced staff and our technology, or externally using our trained panel of auditors. So just moving on to the solutions, so the ways in which consumer research can be conducted. And I suppose to open the slide, it's important to note that with each client, the programs are completely bespoke to their needs. So we work with the client at the start to identify their objectives, any challenges they have, and we work together to identify the best solution. These are the 8 most popular traditional solutions, but oftentimes we can use a combination or something new and innovative depending on the client's individual needs. So just to run through them quickly there, first and foremost, as Duncan mentioned, is mystery shopping, our bread and butter. So mystery shopping measures customer experience. It maps out that customer journey from start to finish. Each customer touch point is assessed. There's different ways of mystery shopping. Could be your walk-in physical assessment on the premises, a covert video assessment with a hidden camera, a telephone assessment, which assesses the telephone experience, or an online or web user assessment. We also have our Tell Us First. So Tell Us First is something we're very proud of. It's our very own real-time and instant contactless online customer feedback platform. So basically it provides a direct line of communication between our clients and their legitimate customers. So it gives customers the opportunity to let clients know the reasons for their satisfaction or their dissatisfaction before they go out and tell the world. Gives you an opportunity to rectify any issues. Our audits, as I said, we've state-of-the-art auditing technology, which is used in 2 ways, either internally by the client's own trained and experienced staff, externally third party using our panel of auditors. I'm sure we've all been there. We invest a lot of time and money into ensuring that we have SOPs, our policies and procedures are up to date, but audits just provide us with that reassurance that they are being adhered to and implemented correctly across the board. Voice of the customer, VOC research, or CSAT surveys. So your voice of customer research is a very in-depth process of uncovering your customers, their wants, their needs, their feelings, and their beliefs. Whereas CSAT surveys are our customer satisfaction surveys, determine how well we're meeting or exceeding our customers' expectations, both of which have absolute merit and can be done either face-to-face, online, or via telephone. Then competitor analysis. I know we are not alone in knowing that we are dying to know what our competitors are up to. And that's what competitor analysis does. It gives us an opportunity to get invaluable insight into our competitors' performance, their strengths, their weaknesses, their processes, and their service levels. Basically, it gets us ahead of the competition, which we all want to do. Social media monitoring there. So that gives gives a business social media intelligence. So it centralizes all online reviews across all platforms, Google, Facebook, Twitter, centralizes it onto one platform and allows us to monitor our social media activity, our presence, and our performance, how quickly we're responding to reviews, how accurate our information is across all the platforms. I think we've all been there where, there's been a review left for the business and it hasn't been responded to quickly enough, or it hasn't been responded to at all. And social media monitoring allows businesses to rectify or remedy that issue. Then exit interviews does what it says on the tin. So exit interviews are a very fast and effective way of getting feedback from customers in real time directly after their visit. So as soon as they literally exit the premises. And focus groups. Focus groups are very in-depth discussions. They're facilitated by one of our trained moderators who are trained to elicit opinions and feelings from the participants on specific subjects or topics of interest. Typically, we specifically recruit and depend on the individuals depend on the objective of the program, and then you gain very insightful and in-depth information into the feelings and attitudes of the participants. And then lastly, we have public opinion polls, which I'm sure we're all very familiar with. Similar to focus groups, they elicit opinions and attitudes, but give us an idea of what the wider population are feeling. So then just lastly, I suppose to close off, I suppose, why do consumer research? What's the merit? What's the benefit? Or why would it be useful for my business? So consumer research provides a continual measurement and evaluation of internal procedures. It monitors that consistent delivery of quality service experience, and consistent is the key word there. It enforces employee knowledge, enhances it too, and it also enforces employee integrity. It monitors and measures the business performance and KPIs. And I suppose a great example there of a client who in the Irish sector who we work with, who uses our retail, our consumer solution to monitor their own performance is they use the research solution to monitor their product availability, their price changes, and their date checks on a daily basis. So it means that in real time, they can identify any supplier issues, operational issues, and action them nationwide without any delay, without any effect to their customers. It also helps our staff to avoid complacency. And of course, complacency is part of human nature, and it enhances employees' customer awareness too. It improves customer retention and satisfaction through an enhanced customer service and enhanced customer experience. It monitors the business standards and the business conditions, and identifies staff training and development needs and increases sales opportunity. So a recent project there that springs to mind for me is a project we did on behalf of a retailer who is positioned in or operating in multiple tourist attractions around Ireland. So using a bespoke consumer research solution with us, we actually identified missed sales opportunities, and it was the simplest thing. Basically, their website had insufficient information. So when people were going on beforehand, as you do, to research their day out, there wasn't enough information available for them to kind of adequately plan. So they were making alternative arrangements to make their purchases before and after the visit. So using their solution, they were able to quickly and easily identify such a simple issue that could be easily fixed, and going forward will result in less missed sales opportunities. And identify small problems before they escalate and become bigger ones. So I suppose a big example that I have there would be another retail client in the Irish landscape who use a monthly mystery shopping program, and were able to identify through the program a very small but emerging trend where the product and the price on the product on the shop floor was differed from the price on the product when it went through the till. So using the mystery shopping program, they're actually able to really quickly identify that this was an issue. They found the source of the issue. So it's a combination of IT issues. I'm sure we've all been there, and staffing, training shortcomings too. And they're able to quickly rectify it, ensure it didn't happen again, and they continue to monitor it on a monthly basis just to make sure that it isn't creeping back in. And then it improves morale and engages and motivates employees through reward and recognition. So it's really important, like to us, our solutions, they're ultimately a reward and recognition tool. Many of our retail clients build them into their KPIs, into their performance management systems, or very popular would be to embed the results of the consumer research initiatives as part of any annual company awards that the company holds. So it ensures that employees are engaged in consumer research, they're involved, and above all, they're recognised for their hard work. And then lastly, why do consumer research? It's like we say nearly every day in our office, what gets measured gets done. So I'm just going to finish up now with a lovely photo of some of the team in the office during simpler times, and our mission statement there, which is dedicated to improving the business performance of our clients since 1995. If anyone has any questions about customer perceptions, about how our solutions might be able to help your business, or about consumer research in general, please don't hesitate to ask. Also, my email address is there on the bottom of that slide, so please do get in touch. So thank you all very much for listening, and I'll hand you back now to Duncan. Thanks again.
Lynn, thank you very much. That was really useful. And I'm looking at the photograph there. That must have been some rugby match or soccer match that was going on the back. How green there was. So that's brilliant. Thank you. Guys, I know there's already one question popped into the chat box there, but we'll pick these up at the end maybe, because I want to just introduce Jill. But that was great, Lynn. Thank you. So Jill Holtz from ParentsandBrands.com and My Kids Time. I know this is going to be interesting, Jill. I'm going to hand over to you in a second, but you know, the top of the conversation, has COVID changed family shopping for good? That's a big topic, isn't it? Wow, my goodness. Hopefully you'll lift the lid on some of that. And I know Jill's going to talk a lot about what parents are saying about retail and shopping, particularly as we get close to this sort of Black Friday, Christmas period. You know, what sort of mood are they in? Are we going to have a good Christmas? Are we not going to have a good Christmas? And equally, what do parents want from retailers? I think that's a really important question. I mean, what are people now looking for? And how has that maybe changed from, 2019 through the pandemic? So I'm going to hand over to Jill. And Jill, look forward to your talk. What, about 30 minutes or so? I think 35 minutes. And
yeah. And if I'm running late, Siobhan or Duncan, tell me.
We'll nudge you.
Time
Absolutely.
to speed it up at the end, because I could talk to the cows come home on this stuff. So thank you, Duncan. Thanks. I'm just going to pop on my share screen and get that going. Let me know if you guys are seeing that okay. Does that come up all right?
Perfect, Jill. Yeah,
that's perfect.
Good stuff. Yeah, so thanks, Duncan and Siobhan, for inviting me today. So I'm going to tell you some insights from parents about shopping and retail, as Duncan prefaced. But before I dive into that, I just wanted to share a little story, which I think is a really excellent retail example. So Michelle, who's the other co-founder of My Kids Time and Parents and Brands, was telling me that she went for a walk in the summertime with a friend called Ursula. And she admired Ursula's shoes and said, "Hey, where did you get them?" And Ursula said, "Oh, I got them on this website." It was kind of just around the time when the shops were reopening. So Michelle went on the website and she ordered a pair of shoes, not the same ones as Ursula. And when she got her sort of dispatch and delivery information email through, she realized she was going to be away for a few days. So she contacted the retailer via their website and said, "I'm going to be away for a few days." And said, "No problem at all. We'll hold your order for a few days and send it out later." And when it arrived, it was beautifully wrapped in really nice wrapping paper with a little personal note saying, "Hope you enjoyed your weekend away." So I am going to tell you at the end of my talk who that retailer was, in case you're curious. But I think it's a really nice example of kind of simple things that the retailer did to make the customer experience really well through the online, and obviously the personalized touch. But also I share this example because if you notice that the whole premise of the story was that parents walking together, one says to the other, "Hey, where did you get that?" So the network of parents is really strong. And when they like something, they will recommend it. And in fact, Michelle has told she was so impressed with that whole service that she's told so many people. So I just wanted to share that little story with you. So who are Parents and Brands and My Kids Time? You may be familiar if you are searching for ideas for kids online. My Kids Time has been around since 2007, but last year we've been working on it for a couple of years. We launched a new service called Parents and Brands, which is more business focused and is focused around insights to help brands. And it's really about tapping into the community that we've built up over the last 14 years. And overlaying our expertise onto what parents are telling us. So it's just that we sort of realized we had this really good opportunity because over 6 million global parents connect every month with our channels, website, social media and email. We have 600,000 Irish parents connecting, and we can use that community to talk to them, to form tailored insights panels. We have built our own private platform where we can host them. We're not market researchers like Lynn and customer perceptions. We're very much coming at it from parenting, marketing, communication side. But because of the type of content we publish on My Kids Time, it's not clickbait celebrity stuff, though more useful tips, improving family life, basically. That means those parents are very kind of researchy already, and they literally give us daily feedback. They reply to our My Kids Time emails. they tag us on our social media, they direct message us all the time offering their opinions. So we wanted to tap into that. And I think what's important is parents want to connect with brands. They want to help improve products and services. We also have a really high level of trust, which helps us to have these conversations. I don't know if people are familiar with User Needs. They're a partner of ours. We've used them for a number of years. They do kind of usability surveys on websites. If anyone wants to find out more about them, I'm happy to talk offline about and introduce them. So basically, they benchmark your website against other websites. And one of the questions they ask is this website trustworthy? And so we can genuinely know that parents trust us there. So that's a bit of background about us. So as I mentioned, we talk to parents regularly. We run insights projects every month where we're talking to parents about different topics of family life. We ask them to tell us, answer questions, share their opinions. We do a kind of a mix of online surveys. We have a weekly email that goes out to a list that we've built up over time. That's 3,000 parents on that who are willing to answer questions and give us feedback. And then we share on social media, and then we'll run these insights panels on our private platform as well. So it's kind of a mix of activities. And what I've done for today is really pull from March onwards up until literally this week, different facets of what parents are telling us about their attitudes towards shopping and retail. And I think there's some really interesting trends that I wanted to share with you today. So I'm going to cover 6 things today. So the first thing is really kind of the whole idea of post-COVID family life in regards to shopping and retail, and what parents told us. And then I'm going to tell you what they're saying about online shopping and Irish websites and Brexit. A little bit of feedback on special offers and grocery for anyone who's in the kind of more food and drink retail side. I'm sure you're all interested to know where their heads are at for Christmas spending. And then I also wanted to include, because we just finished that last month, was what they think of advertising. I thought that might be really useful for you guys. And as Duncan mentioned, ultimately, what do parents want from retailers? And then also, you know, some ideas for things that you can consider for your business. So diving into the first thing in March, what we did is, as things were sort of slightly easing, can I say, in March, we got curious about where were parents at, what were they thinking about family life, how had things changed. And so we ran a big survey that had 823 responses on it, and we asked them all sorts of things. And part of that was about shopping and spending and saving. So I've just pulled a little bit about that. So bear in mind, this was in March, but I think it started to show some interesting trends in the way things have changed. So on the left, what do you plan on spending post-COVID? On the right is the word cloud of the 823 answers. So holiday and staycation, big up there. But in terms of retail, furniture, clothing, garden, car, obviously, we've got then shopping. And then I think an important aspect was a lot of mentions about celebrating, socializing with family and friends. And again, the home-based kind of socializing, because obviously the hospitality hadn't opened until July. We're always interested. It's really nice to know that 80% of parents say such and such, but we always are fascinated by the why and what people are saying on the more qualitative side. So I just picked out 3 comments. So shopping habits post-COVID, definitely into the click and collect. They got used to that. And not always possible, but free delivery where it would be nice. I would pick these stores doing free delivery over others that charge. So just to give you an idea, we were running a project with Eason about kids' books and asking parents about their attitudes to buying kids' books. And one of the things that came out of that project was that the minimum free delivery, when it's a kids' book, they tend to be cheaper than adult books. So, you know, how can you bundle up family products to hit your free delivery level and make that easy to do for parents would be one tip out of that. Queuing would be a deterrent for me, and I think the idea of going off peak with kids, maybe, and then she said, oh, I'd love an appointment still, that, you know, when you were reopening and offering appointments to come in store, actually parents kind of like that idea. They could book a slot and come in with the kids as well. And then this parent was saying, I am looking forward to going back to in-store shopping, but can honestly say that I've got somewhat used to online shopping and will continue that. So we see that in some later surveys. So this was kind of the March snapshot. Do you think your spending habits will change long term as a result of COVID? So 50% said, and there was a lot of feedback, a lot of comments around this about realizing that they needed to spend more thoughtfully. So I suppose this is what's kind of termed conscious consumerism, that not just buying for the sake of it, being very measured in what you buy. So this has come out consistently, not just on this survey, but other conversations we've had. And I think that the idea of kind of impulse buying, people realize that I think there was a shift in the whole attitude about spending time with kids and not money. Presents, not presents, I would say, is a theme for Christmas coming up. Now, that's not to say they won't buy, so don't worry about there, but it does mean you're going to have to work hard at communicating well to parents to get them to buy and that they need that item. So different thoughts on new shopping habits. Again, kind of from the grocery perspective, obviously that changed a lot during COVID, and I think people have stuck there. We were talking to them recently, and I'll share that coming up, about grocery bills. So people have seemed to have shifted off the multiple shops during the week, really towards still the main shop, maybe with a top up. Planning meals comes across a lot. So anything that you can do to help parents on that front, because, you know, family dinner ideas is, well, I think everybody, never mind parents, is thinking, oh, what am I going to have for dinner? But also this parent says, when online looking for clothes, I'm looking for bargains, and I'd never look at bargain rails. So there's been some subtle changes in the way they're doing things online versus in store as well. Definitely less browsing, kind of going into the shops, having the list. Again, a list came up quite a lot in terms of what parents are saying, much more focused on what I need, quality over quantity. And actually, in May, we did a piece for Retail Excellence Ireland. You may have seen it in the June magazine, which was talking about kind of shifts in category and online, offline. And these are just some little pie charts based on different categories, where we said, you know, what's your preference here? So overwhelmingly, grocery parents generally prefer to be in store rather than online. Clothing's kind of 47% online, 53% in store. Homewares, furniture, kind of around the same. Books more online, technology a little bit more online, and interestingly enough, people have got used to buying alcohol online, so that might have been a bit of a shift that has come out of COVID, because they had to buy it. They've gone there and maybe realised there are other avenues or different kinds of alcohol, just other than what they used to normally buy in the supermarket with their weekly shop. So that's kind of the early sort of coming out of COVID and thinking about where they're changing. And the next area I want to cover is shopping online and Brexit. So we've been talking to parents quite a lot about this. So first of all, just generally about shopping online versus in store. And there was a few things that really kind of struck us out of this piece of work we did. They don't know what they're getting online as easily. So what does that mean? It means you really need to present your products online well. You need to have as much information about that product, many photos, even a video, if you can have a video of the product in use, just so that people can get a much better sense of what they're getting if they're buying online. Because obviously in the shop, they can check the quality of the fabric, etc. Or as this parent said, you can look at the dates that are a bit older from expiry, but when they're buying them. Another big area that came up about shopping online was the sizing issues. So particularly when it came to kids' clothes and shoes, really tricky to size those up. And then you're ending up in that situation of having to post things back. I don't know, for anyone who has teens, which I do, I just feel like I'm constantly going down to either the post office or the local Spar to drop in the returns. They've got really used to the online ordering, the teens. So I think anything that kind of can help with sizing information for parents, particularly on the online side. And then free delivery, minimum spend, increased stock levels are a big issue, parents tell us. They go to buy something and then they realise when they're trying to add it to the cart that it's not available. So keeping the up-to-date stock levels is really a critical thing to get them to buy from you online. So those are just some feedback about shopping online. We just asked them this is literally hot off the presses. When it comes to online shopping, so which of these statements most applies to you? So I'd like to buy more online from Irish websites, but often can't find what I want. So that was the predominant answer there. When I can easily find what I want to order online. So it's quite positive about Irish websites, but there's definitely a bigger cohort who can't find what they want. Smaller cohort, then I found other EU non-Irish websites to order online since Brexit, or I order as much online as I always did. So Brexit seems to have had some impact in that people are trying to buy more Irish, but if they can't find you, then that's an issue, obviously. So some thoughts on shopping and Brexit. I definitely make more effort to buy Irish. Now, again, we've consistently seen this across different surveys we've done and different panels that we run, whether it be about buying food or clothes or other goods. And this mum saying, even if I could save money buying from a UK site, delivery is so much better, quicker if it's coming from within the country. That being said, if I wanted something that was only available, I wouldn't hesitate to buy, even if I do have to pay tax. Some UK websites still not delivering to Ireland, so I've had to go elsewhere to get what I need. Irish retailers aren't very visible. You really need to search for them and what you want to be able to support local. And then this mum is kind of talking about, I would avoid anything UK based now unless they're the only ones who can provide the product, then I might look for it on Amazon. So Amazon still is there, unfortunately. So in order to compete with Amazon, again, it's all about making your website presence as good as it can be. Again, hot off the presses, so this is good news. Once they find you and they're on your website, what's your experience buying? Mostly positive or no complaints. So you're doing well once you get them on. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. And the really good news is nobody voted for generally poor. So that was really good to see. So it's just the finding of the website, I think, that might be an issue. And I think then we were just going to put up a little poll actually on the online presence. Siobhan, are you popping that up?
Yeah, I'll pop it up now.
Just to take a minute to sort of see about your online presence. So just curious to see, do you find your website being found easily online? Are you aware of that? I'll just give you a few minutes to answer. So Siobhan, I'm not sure where to see the results. Are you seeing those?
Yeah, I can see them. So 78% say yes, their website's being found easily, and 22% say not sure, they need to check.
Okay.
No one has voted for no, which is good.
Okay, that's good. So a bit of work maybe on the ones who aren't sure. It's always worth going to see. You kind of forget to do this, but going to see when somebody puts your name and your business name, what is coming up? What is the first thing that comes up on Google? And how are you being presented there? So just moving on. We also asked this week, literally this went out on that email list of 3,000 that was mentioning, what could Irish retailers do better on their websites? So stock levels came up again, making sure it's quick and easy to see if they've stock, highlighting the products of Irish and that items will ship from within Ireland. It's not always obvious. Bit of feedback on giving different shipping options sometimes, and this is my experience myself, is I just go on and there's just one shipping rate. And I think maybe people would like to say, right, I'll have something quicker or something slower, and also give them accurate shipping times so people know when it's coming. And then this parent was saying, I find that lots of Irish retailers don't have reviews of products on their website. Reviews are very helpful for purchasing. Also, when it comes to clothes, I like to know what they're made from. This information is often overlooked with smaller retailers, same with ingredients for cosmetics and food. So it's about spending a little bit more time when you're putting products up, making sure that the information is as good as it can be. Sorry, I'm flicking back and forward here. So the next bit that I wanted to just share with you was some feedback on special offers in food and grocery. So I don't have as much to share on this because not everybody is in that sector, but I thought it would be interesting if you were. So, and I suppose it does reflect a bit on special offers in general. So we asked, and people could choose any multiple on this. So I only buy certain products when they're offered was kind of the most popular answer on this. I take them when I get them. Supermarket sends vouchers. Then the third kind of most popular thing was people shopping around to get better deals, stocking up when I see a deal or offer, deliberately looking for them. Not so many choosing where I shop because of the vouchers, and then a smaller cohort again using the app, or sometimes buying things they don't really need because on their offer. Or even the last one wasn't very popular. Deals or offers don't really influence my shopping. So that shows you that parents, in terms of anyway on the grocery side, definitely do like to get offers. But a bit of feedback is I'd like more specific offers. So if you are doing offers for your business, regardless of whether you're in food or not, is to make sure that they really are targeted towards parents. So sometimes I get sent vouchers for things I never buy. They see you buy lots of biscuits, so send me a voucher for that, like that one. Others are more generic and mostly on food, which is handier. I'm always looking for special offers and deals when doing the shopping. We meal plan again. That kind of meal planning has come out of the COVID, I think, because we were all at home for so long trying to decide what to eat. And if I spot something on discount, I sometimes change meals on the spot to save money. I usually look for offers on my staple products because anything else would be a waste, non-perishable there. So Kantar a few weeks back had said that the average big shop had gone up by €200. So we asked parents, is that your experience? And yes is the answer. So 70% say that their main shop has gone up in cost and has now stayed up. And then smaller proportions say it's kind of same or went up a bit and has reduced now. So the perception from parents is that food costs are rising. So moving on to Christmas, because that's our next big season, of course. And I just wanted to actually, while I was on there, make a point actually generally, and we found this always on the marketing side from my kids' time, is just to remember that parents do have slightly different seasons as well. Outside of Christmas, they've also got things like back to school and communion. So when you're planning your marketing to parents around seasons, you need to be going out way earlier to help them to do your marketing so that you can get your offers out in advance of that season. So, you know, in a normal year, communion, what is March, April, May time, you should be going out with communion stuff back in September, because as soon as the schools go back, they're saying this is when the communions will be taking place. People are buying their dresses early, etc. So that's just an example of kind of thinking about parents as a slightly different cohort from maybe other segments, because they have these specific to them seasons that they think about. But like everybody else, Christmas is important to them and Santa's important. So we asked parents this year, and this was about a month ago, thinking about spending for Christmas, which of these do you plan to do? So 42% said spend as much as always. But a good cohort then said, actually, we're going to buy less and we're going to spend time rather than cash, or go more with green with the spending. So those, again, are reflecting, I think, those earlier things we saw from parents about more conscious consumerism. There is a bit of a shift towards, again, the wish to buy more sustainably and things that are packaged more sustainably as well. So I think when you're thinking about this and how you're going to attract parents, is it is a message around value and quality on products and services, because if they're going to buy less, then you want them to spend with you, and how are you going to attract them to you? So here are just some of those quotes. And a lot of parents as well are saying that they're buying early because of, they're worried about, particularly for Santa presents, that Santa doesn't get left behind. So definitely won't be buying as many things. Feel family time. So again, considering that trend about family time together, is there anything that you can offer in terms of your social media content, your marketing content, or indeed things that you sell that are towards that family time? Last year we focused on buying Irish, and we'll try to keep some of our gifts Irish made this year. We'll not be leaving it until December though, in case of supply issues. And then this parent is talking about the bigger gifts and the kind of Christkindle idea. So again, very popular idea that a lot of family do together for Christmas is the Kringle. Can you tap into that? Can you offer ways of ideas for that and gifts and things in that category? We asked them then for the Christmas shopping on that survey, are they going in store, are they online, or a mix? So 70% have said mix. So I think this has really changed since COVID. Most parents would have gone and done a lot of in-store shopping for the Christmas shopping. And only 10% are saying they're mostly going to do it in store. So it is really that hybrid now of the way that they're shopping. They're going to pick some things up in store and some online. So I mentioned that we had just done a piece there in September, which is all about parents' views on advertising. We thought it'd be really interesting to ask them what types of advertising they like, what they don't like, etc. So I've got a couple of snippets to share here. So we asked them, we gave them a list of different types of ads, and we said, which of these would most influence you to go and either go in store to look for a product, say, or go onto the website to search for it? And reviews or testimonials came top. TV ad, radio ad, out of home, and magazine ad then were the same. And bottom of the list, in case you're curious, were display banner ads and pop-up ads. They said they really don't like them. So what they're really saying is they prefer the less intrusive types of advertising in terms of awareness and activation, particularly for activation. So we found this was really interesting. So much advertising, we've gotten used to mostly ignoring it, so it needs to evolve and become more relatable. So maybe using ads to promote both brand and encouraging changes in the world. So more purpose-driven marketing is what this parent's saying. Advertising is fine in a passive environment, billboards, radio ads, but in an interactive medium, I find them intrusive and infuriating and slow, and I sometimes click in by accident as well. Or the fact that the ad ends up covering what they're trying to read, they find that annoying as well. We also asked them, for anyone who has either done or is considering using influencers for their marketing and advertising, what best describes your thoughts on influencers and products you see them advertise? And it turns out parents really aren't activated by influencers at all. Only 12% said they would definitely buy the product if they like that particular influencer, and only 4% said they would even share with their own network if they liked the product and the influencer. Parents, that's not really where they're at. I think it can play a role in awareness, but not for activation, not getting them into your store and buying the products. So the final section I want to cover just now, I think I'm still on time, is what parents want from retailers. So this is just basically a list that came out of all of the different things that we've been talking to over the last 8 months with parents. So some of them I've already mentioned and you've seen them in quotes. So I've kind of separated them on the left into the more online, although some of those things could be carried in store. So product reviews from other parents. They really would like recommendations. What do you mean by that? So if they're not very familiar with a category, they'd like to know what are the top 10 ideas in that category. That could be like cocktails. If you're selling drinks, here are 10 ideas, recommendations. Grouping and bundling of products, I mentioned that Easton example to hit free delivery, but again, just kind of from a time perspective, saving time for parents is a winner. Up-to-date stock, better sizing, we've seen that. Better search and filtering came in through a lot as well. Just when you're on the website, being able to find what you need on the website, finding your website easily. So we've talked about that. More click and collect, easy returns, quick refunds, free delivery. But then I think what's more interesting, they also articulated some things on the in-store side. So the possibility of in-store appointments, they'd love that. Parent and child shopping times, anyone who has a kid knows that if you go shopping and the child decides they don't want to be there, it's a bit of a nightmare. So part of that was related as well to the fourth one on that side, which is child and family-centered customer service. So that's about understanding that if parents are in there with kids, you know, what can you do there? So a really good example is what supermarkets have done with the tiny shopping trolley for the kid, you know, just something that engages the child while they're in that experience. Interestingly enough, wish list came through here. So it's not quite like online click and collect, but the idea that, okay, we're going to need to go uniform shopping. We're going to need 3 uniforms of these sizes. This is our wish list before we come into the store. And then when we come in, you have it ready for them and they can just try it on quickly and get in and out quickly. So that was quite an interesting wish from parents. Generally, they would love ideas and inspiration, relevant, targeted and timely offers, definitely more earlier communication. You'll see in a couple of comments in a minute, more Irish made, and they do like reward and loyalty. That definitely came through again. So just what do you want from retailers in the run up to Christmas? If shops are going to do discounts, money off, I think offers should be sooner. Most people I know are looking to be finished Christmas shopping in the next 2 to 3 weeks, including me. And then she's talking about bigger buys online and that she understands, you know, delays in deliveries. This other parent was saying, I'd actually love if they stocked some of the fantastic, amazing small Irish business products. I can only buy a lot of these online directly. Would love to see more of them in stores. Have a dedicated Christmas section. So again, from a time saving perspective, just being able to go in and out quickly for a parent is really important. So just kind of recap some of the main trends that came out of all of this, talking to parents: conscious consumerism, huge appetite to buy Irish, so that's, you know, great, and to buy from Irish retailers. Key areas of spend would really be around homes and gardens, still on the celebrations. You know, kids' parties just fell away last year, so that's going to be kind of a big topic next year, hopefully, if things can get better again. Christmas food, toys, decorations, and I think I mentioned this before, family time opportunities. So looking at products that are about spending time together. They do want to continue with online, and they did like say, I want to get back to shops, particularly for clothing. They want value and offers, less intrusive advertising, etc. So I'm just going to fling on to just some recommendations, really, which we hope would be useful for you. So communicating value and quality to parents, that's going to be the key to getting them to spend. Making it as easy for them to transact with kids and to advance bookings, click and collect, etc. Just making sure your online presence is the best it can be so they can find you there. Retailers, you know, you just need to keep talking to parents to understand what they want, what services to continue with, what new ones to offer as well. Sizing of clothes, if you're selling any kind of clothes and shoes, making sure, how can you help parents pick the right size to avoid returns, basically. We've seen a strong emphasis on the low-key Christmas at home through that conscious consumerism. So any content and products that promote that family time together are going to go down well. And again, because values have changed a little bit, everybody's changed a little bit because of the pandemic. You know, you do value your family. Is your communication aligned to that shift as well? And to be savvy about where you are placing your ads spend. Don't do the pop-ups and display ads. And I wouldn't really spend money on influencers in the short term, maybe for a longer term awareness thing. So just some final thoughts then. Small businesses tend to leave shout outs until December, whereas if you want to fully support Irish Christmas, you should be hearing about those businesses and settlers from September onwards. parent and child shopping time would be amazing. I hate the look some people give you when trying to get shopping done with kids if they aren't in the right mood. I try to support local retailers, and I'm also looking to buy more sustainable, environmentally friendly products. And then a couple of final thoughts. Well-managed car parks. So if you're in that situation and can help manage that in the run-up to Christmas, and offers will be a great help. So this year, above any year, vouchers will be a great help. So money off a certain spend and free delivery will be making a difference to people to get them to shop more this year. Yeah, so this is just a little snapshot of who we've worked with on different projects, and the retail side has been Easton, I mentioned, Skobooks.ie, and some other product-based companies as well. So I said I would reveal who the retailer was for the shoe story, and it was actually Oh by Gum, who are based at the Courtyard in the Clifton Station House. And I just thought it was such a nice little picture of the note. Dear Michelle, we hope you enjoyed the weekend away, and a big thanks to Ursula from us, because Ursula was the person who had shown her the shoes in the first place. We hope you love these beautiful shoes as much as we do. Really, really excellent retail example, I think, there.
Jill, that's lovely. Thank you so much. That's really interesting, just going through that. I'm just going to ask you to flash back through your slides there. There was one slide around special offers research on grocery, I think it was. And while you do that, I've got a question for Lynn. Is Lynn still there? Are you off mute, Lynn?
Yeah, I'm here.
There was a question that was raised in the questions there about how you compile competition analysis, or competitor analysis rather. How do you do that? What's the secret?
Well, it just honestly, it depends on what the objective is. So what information you're trying to gauge about your competitors kind of dictates the solution that you would opt for. But options there would be mystery shopping. So you can mystery shop your competitors, you know, physically via telephone, website analysis. You could do pricing audits. So you could benchmark your prices against your competitors' prices. You could do a public opinion poll where you gauge opinions around, you know, brands in your field, or a focus group as well. So it really depends what you're looking to do, but the kind of options to get competitor analysis, really, they're endless. It just depends on the objective.
Yeah, it's just all that mystery shopping of your competitors that I've done in the past with the pulled up over the face and all that sort of thing. Yeah, great. Jill, were you able to do that, or is it something maybe we could send on? Is it that slide?
Yeah, sorry, I just had a technical glitch there, so it's just reloading. So you were
okay. Listen, don't worry, we'll maybe send that slide on. Just interesting. I mean, if anybody else has got any questions, please drop them into the chat box there. But you mentioned this. I was just thinking around some of the things you were saying there, and this sort of some of the stuff around sustainability seems to be coming up quite a bit here. I think you referred to it as, what was it? Your words, conscious consumerism, I think, which is that another word you think for sustainability, or, you know, and how much is that emerging now compared?
I think it's a subset of that whole sort of move towards. So to me, there's two trends here. One is picking products that they know the provenance, they know that it's Irish, they know that it's made local, and also that the packaging is kind of eco-friendly. So there's a shift towards thinking about those things. Then as a wider thing, the conscious consumerism is, do I really need to buy this thing in the first place? Does my child really need 20 million toys? So it's that kind of thing. And I think what the pandemic did, and with the change in family time, so people had very busy lives. They were rushing off to many kids' activities, kids' parties. There was a lot going on in people's lives. They had to stop, everybody had to stop. We were all at home together, and people started to do what we did them as kids, those old-fashioned activities, baking together, playing cards, board games, etc. And I think people just realized, you know, we don't need to buy stuff to make the kids happy. That's been a big shift. So when they buy, they want to know that that product is really good quality. We often say this from working with on the marketing side is, you know, parents really have to trust brands at an extra level. And why is that? Because when you buy something for yourself, okay, if you don't like it, you're disappointed in it, you can take it back or whatever. But if you buy something for your child and they don't like it, let me tell you, you hear about it. So
Yeah.
you have to know and have that level of trust. And I think that's why when you can get parents to recommend your business, like Ursula and Michelle, is, you know, they become kind of amazing ambassadors for you, because they will tell people in their network, and they have a really wide network.
It's
that was a
fascinating, isn't it?
answer.
But no, I'm just thinking about, you know, that the way the kids influence, and, you know, just thinking back to a situation I had with one of my daughters there quite a few years ago now, who said on the 1st of December, I'd like an American Girl doll, please, for my Christmas presents, and the only place you can get it is department stores in America. So caused us a bit of difficulty getting hold of that one, let me tell you. I'm also really interested in the customer or the parent that you spoke to there, who said, most people I know have got their Christmas shopping done or will have it done in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I thought that was a bit frightening, actually. The thought that people are actually planning that far ahead this Christmas. Do you think that's common, or do you think that was a one-off?
No, I've heard this anecdotally as well, and friends, particularly where they've got the kind of under 10s who are still Santa believers. They need to know that that item is going to be in the stocking or under the tree. But I think also just because the media has been so much about, you know, supply chain and the global issues and Brexit and blah, 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 I think people are just a bit worried that they're going to have the things that they do want to buy. So I think that's why keeping your stock levels up to date and communicating really well. If there are any delivery delays, people understand that that's a situation, but you should be saying that and be really upfront about that and say, you know, it's coming, it will be there. But
it's not coming, as the case may be.
Or it's not coming, to allow them to change and do something else. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, isn't it? And again, I was particularly interested there in terms of you know, the points raised about family time. You know, I'm just thinking back to last Christmas, where we really, you know, so many people didn't come back for Christmas, did they? I'm just wondering how busy the airports are going to be this Christmas with returning children and family members that are coming back to Ireland for the first time in 2 years, probably even longer. You know, just that whole bit about hunkering down and being a family again is going to be really important this year, isn't it?
And I think that's where you can go out on your marketing and messaging and use that in a nice way to say, you know, here's how we're supporting you. There was a lot of feedback throughout all the surveys about just the fact that they'd missed so many celebrations as well. It means that when they can get together with their friends and family. So, you know, what can you create to enhance that experience again? I've seen some really good ideas. I mean, obviously we saw the restaurants pivot towards like meal kits and things, but yeah, thinking about that.
We're now starting to find your line. It's breaking up a bit there, Jill, or it might be my line, but anyway, we've come to 4 o'clock. That's been really interesting, to Lynn Carr from Customer Perceptions and to Jill Holtz for her presentation. My Kids Time, ParentsandBrands.com. Thank you so much. Very interesting, and thanks to everybody that logged on today. And we'll talk to you again next week. Thanks a million. Bye for now.
Thank you.